Hey you guys, this video is going to be a tag and I'm titling it My Acne Story. So kind of a little bit of inspiration from my makeup story, but it's going to be a lot different. So in honor of this video, I'm not wearing any makeup and I'm going to share with you my acne story, and then I'll tell you guys the rules for responding to this video or creating your own video and doing your acne story. So my acne story begins at about 9 years old. It's when I first started breaking out with pimples, like heavy red pimples. And from like 9 years old to 11 years old, I just used a bunch of different drugstore products. I used like Clearasil, I used the alcoholic acne pads, I used St.Ives, apricot scrubbed, I used lots of different things and they didn't work at all. And then in middle school, from 11 years old to about 14 years old, I was very dedicated to the acne-free system. And I was dedicated to that treatment like no other. And finally, after about like 2.5 years of using it, I switched to like their advanced system to see if that would do anything. Didn't do anything either. It only made my skin really dry and irritated. So acne free didn't work. Then at the beginning of high school, I tried Proactive for a month, and that's what I learned. If you're trying a new treatment, give it 1 month to work, and if you don't see any results after a month, just stop. Stop using it, because if you don't see any results after 1 month, you probably won't see any in 2 or 3 months. So I used Proactive for a month, and it didn't work. But luckily, we did a 30-day trial thing, and so we were able to get our money back. So that was okay. Then after that, my acne was really severe, and my mom and I finally looked into seeing a dermatologist. So the process that we had to go through, we had to go see our doctor first, or my doctor first, and he had to write us a referral to a dermatologist. But first he asked me to try this antibiotic that I would take twice a day and this topical treatment gel. And I wasn't too thrilled about taking the antibiotic because it has some side effects like dry skin, and you can be out in the sun too much, and that didn't really work out for me because I was very active in my sport and I was out in the sun every day. But I gave it a go because we really wanted the referral to the dermatologist, and it didn't do anything. It didn't make my skin worse, it didn't make it better, it didn't do anything at all. So we went back to the doctor, and he wanted us to try another antibiotic. We were like, oh no, we are not doing this again. So we didn't, and we ended up not seeing a dermatologist. And we did consider Accutane, but not like seriously, because my mom and I had seen what it had done to my aunt. She had gotten Accutane when she was about my age, and her mom had to get a second job to pay for the Accutane, and it's just so damaging to her system. Like, it dried her out, it gave her dandruff, I mean, it took care of the scarring, but it just seemed like it was really harmful to her body. So my mom and I, being, very, how would you say it, open-minded people, we looked into getting natural treatments, and that's when I first saw my mom's chiropractor / nutritionist, who's also dealt with Chinese herbs and medicine. And she was actually the one who told me to stop drinking milk. And once I did, my skin got so much better. That was the first big breakthrough in my acne story, stopping milk, not drinking milk. And it turns out I used to love milk when I was younger, and then, like at 9 years old, it started breaking out. So it could have been because I developed an allergic reaction to it because I was drinking too much of it. That's what our nutritionist told us. So anything, if you eat too much of it, you could develop an allergy to it. Also, she said it could be because they pump so much hormones into the cows these days, and I was going through puberty and stuff, so I didn't really need more hormones in my system. So After I stopped drinking milk, my skin got much more improved. But throughout this whole process, my skin was like oily, and like I'd say it was after I stopped drinking milk, it was only mild acne. I do have some scarring, as you can see, but they're just marks. I don't have any pocket hole scarring, and that's like good to not have the pocket hole scarring. It's harder to get rid of. So yeah, and then after that I did her herbs treatment for about 2 months. My skin got better after I started using it, but then it just kind of stopped getting better, and it just kind of plateaued. Like, got better and then it stopped. So we stopped taking herbs from her, and I stopped. I keep saying we because I keep saying like my mom and I, because like she went through this whole process with me too. That's what I mean when I say we. But really, I stopped taking the herbs, and after that, I was using Clean and Clear's salicylic acid toner, the pink one, and Clearasil, not Clearasil, like just antibacterial bar soap to wash my face with. So about a year passed, and then I met with this other Chinese herb doctor that I mentioned in my other video, and I'll post a link of that natural skincare treatment below. And he had like a whole like plan set up for me. Like, probably had like about 2 meetings with him before we even started any treatments, because he wanted to like explore every avenue and get like my treatments down very right. So we started off with doing low beam laser treatments that he would do on my skin, not to clear up the scarring, but just to kill bacteria. And he started me off on 2 pills. One was to balance my hormones, to balance my period, and the other was for my skin. And he gave me this, I wouldn't say topical, but this face wash that I would use after washing my face. And around this time, I wasn't really moisturizing my skin, even though I probably should have been, because he didn't want to add, and he told me to stop wearing makeup, and he told me, don't eat any chocolate, don't eat any processed food, cut out dairy completely, cut out high sugar foods, cut out fatty foods. And I was like, what's left? It was extremely difficult, but it wasn't too hard, because it was extremely difficult to cut out dairy, because I love cheese and chocolate and everything. But it wasn't too hard to switch to more healthy eating, because I already kind of eat pretty healthy as it is, so that wasn't too difficult. Then slowly I got into the idea of acupuncture, and I wasn't into it at first, because I'm sure just as many of you out there think, I thought it hurt, and I was scared that he was going to poke me with a needle, but I actually did it. And I have done it, and it's really relaxing. It doesn't hurt at all. It only hurts if you resist it. So if you ever get acupuncture, good tip, just relax and just, let the needles just penetrate and balance your body. So I did that for about 2 months, and then the last month we stopped low beam laser treatments and we stopped acupuncture, and we're just kind of more focusing on my skin, because we did see results, and they kind of progressed, and then my skin started getting worse again. So I was still eating good, and I still did the treatments and kind of upped it. And then after about 3 months, my mom and I gave it 3 months, because since it was a natural treatment, we figured it would take longer to instill into my system. About 3 months, my skin had gotten better, and I really loved my doctor, because he was so into my treatment and make sure my diet, actually had to keep a food diary, and every week when I saw him, he would look at the list of foods I ate today and that week, and he was very involved with the whole process, and I really appreciated that. But alas, the treatments didn't exactly work, so we stopped those Chinese herb treatments, number 2. Then around the summer, I just kept washing my face with antibacterial soap, and I started using Vickery and Clark products too, because they're gentle, mild, and moisturizing my face. My skin is still oily at this point, and still kind of breaking out pretty frequently.